All right, today we're going to tackle one of the biggest financial questions out there. How much car can you actually afford? And I mean really afford. We're going to cut right through the dealership sales pitch and give you a super simple, powerful rule to protect your wallet. This is about making sure your next car is a smart financial move, not a financial anchor.
I want you to just picture this for a second, because I guarantee it's happening right now. Someone sitting under those bright showroom lights is about to sign on the dotted line for a car that costs almost their entire yearly salary. They're going to feel that financial squeeze for years to come. And the craziest part? They're making this huge decision totally in the dark about what's actually affordable.
So, you might be asking, how do so many smart people end up in this exact spot? Well, it all starts with falling into what I call the overspending trap. Let's walk through how this whole thing goes wrong from the moment you step foot on the car lot.
There it is. That's the question. It sounds so innocent, right? So helpful, but this question is specifically designed to lead you right down the wrong path. See, the salesperson isn't asking what you can truly afford. They're just asking what number you're comfortable with leaving your bank account every month. And trust me, those are two very, very different things.
It's a trap, absolutely. Because the second you start focusing only on that monthly payment, you completely lose sight of the total price tag. A dealership can make almost any car on the lot seem affordable if they just stretch out the loan term long enough. We're talking 6, 7, even 8 years. Sure, the monthly payment looks smaller, but the total amount you end up paying in interest, it just skyrockets.
And you can see just how normal this has become. The average car loan in the US is for around 40 grand, usually stretched over 5 or 6 years. That gets the payment into that $700 or $800 range that feels doable. But just look at those interest rates. If your credit isn't absolutely perfect, you could be paying over 12% on something that is, by definition, guaranteed to lose value. It's a terrible combination.
Okay, so this whole approach creates two major financial drains that are just quietly eating away at your wealth. You might know about the first one, but honestly, it's the second one that catches nearly everyone off guard. So, hidden drain number one, as we've been talking about, is this obsession with the monthly payment. It's like a magic trick that makes the true cost of the car disappear. You stop thinking about the thousands of dollars you're just lighting on fire in interest over a super long loan. And here's the second, much sneakier drain, depreciation. This is the financial gut punch your car takes simply by existing. The second you sign those papers and drive that shiny new car off the lot, poof, it's a used car, and its value just plummets. Let's make this really concrete. Say you buy a beautiful new car for $50,000. It's perfect, it's got that new car smell, and it feels like a real solid asset.
But in the very first year you own it, that car is going to lose about 20% of its value. And that's just an average. For some cars, it's way more.
So after just 12 months, your $50,000 car is now worth $40,000. You have lost $10,000. It's the same as taking a $100 bill out of your wallet and setting it on fire every single week for a year. That's the brutal, real cost of depreciation.
So how in the world do you protect yourself from the payment trap and this massive depreciation cliff? Well, you use a financial shield. It's a simple, incredibly powerful guideline called the 24-10 rule.
Forget all the complicated spreadsheets. The 24-10 rule just boils it down to 3 simple numbers. That's it. It's designed to keep you grounded in reality and to make sure your car is serving you, not the other way around.
So let's break it down real quick. First, the 20 means a 20% down payment. This is huge. It immediately lowers your loan and protects you from going underwater where you owe more than the car is even worth. Next, the 4 means you finance for a maximum of 4 years. This alone will save you a fortune in interest. And finally, the 10, and this is maybe the most important part, you keep all your car costs under 10% of your gross monthly income.
And listen, this is the part almost everyone messes up. That 10% is not just for your car payment. It has to cover the whole shebang. As you can see here, the actual loan is often less than half of what you're spending. You've got to factor in insurance, gas, maintenance, and even surprise repairs. This rule forces you to look at the total cost of ownership, which is what really matters.
Okay, enough theory. Let's actually put this rule into practice. We're going to run the numbers for a few different income levels so you can see what your real car budget actually looks like. All right, let's say you're earning $50,000 a year. Your total monthly car budget for everything is around $417. After you account for insurance, gas, and a little for maintenance, you're left with about $150 for the actual car payment. With a solid 20% down payment, that puts you in the market for a car that costs around $9,000. And that's a great, reliable used car that gets you where you need to go without wrecking your finances. Now let's bump that up to $70,000 a year. Your total car budget is now about $583 a month. That gives you around $300 for a loan payment, which can support a total car price of about $16,000. So now we're talking about newer used cars, maybe something with more features or lower miles. Still a super smart financial move.
Okay, once you hit that six-figure salary of $100,000, your total budget is around $833. This can handle a $500 loan payment, putting your total car price right around $27,000. This is really the income level where buying a sensible new car starts to become a realistic and financially responsible option.
And for those making $150,000 or more, your budget allows for a total car price of around $45,000. Now, could you afford more? Sure, but the whole point of this rule is to build wealth, not just to show it off. Even at high incomes, the truly wealthy don't go crazy on assets that lose value.
And that really brings us to the final and most important choice. This whole thing isn't just about buying a car. It's a decision between buying a vehicle versus actually building your long-term wealth, because every single dollar you overspend on a car is a dollar you can't invest in your own future. Just think about it like this. You could buy a $30,000 car, or you could buy a perfectly good $20,000 car and invest that $10,000 difference. That first car is guaranteed to be worth less in a decade, but that investment, it could easily double. That $10,000 could become $20,000. That is the incredible power of opportunity cost. So here's your action plan. It's simple. First, run your own numbers using the 10% rule and look for cars that actually fit that budget. Second, start saving up for that 20% down payment. Third, and this is key, get pre-approved for a loan before you ever go to a dealership. That gives you all the power. And finally, always calculate the full cost of ownership before you sign anything. Ultimately, it all just comes down to this one question. 10 years from now, what are you going to be happier with? A slightly fancier car that you barely even think about anymore, or thousands of extra dollars in your investment account, working around the clock to build your financial freedom? The choice you make in that dealership matters way more than you think. Make the one your future self will thank you for.